So, you have been trying to improve on any FPS game, whether it's a Battle Royale or a shooter game, but you're not sure how to improve on the game. Well, if there is a rank mode, you probably have not looked at rank mode because maybe you're one of those players who are just like, well, I care about my rank, I care about my points, but I'm going to tell you the best way to actually improve on any FPS game if it does have a so-called rank mode. If it doesn't have a rank mode, then, hopefully you just find a way to improve. But with that being said, let's roll the intro, shall we? Hello everybody, FAI here or I here, and welcome back to another FAI Tips and Tricks video. And in today's FAI Tips and Tricks video, we will be talking about how to get better or self-improve yourself. Now, these are going to be some quick tips to help you improve. Many of them we will touch on base on in another video in more detail to talk about these things. But in this video, I just want to talk about the quick basics and how to improve. Now, first and foremost, you're probably going to be asking me, ranked or casual mode, which way is better to improve? Well, let's go ahead and talk about that. First and foremost, casual play is probably better if you're just looking to have fun, and if not anything, you're just looking to improve by finding your game style, your play style, what you like to do, and how you like to roll. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be able to build game sense, you're not going to be able to build skill or anything like that by playing casual mode, because let's face it, at the end of the day, casual mode is mostly for those players who are just looking to get a little self-reflection on what they are doing, how they're playing, and just understanding their playstyle, which could be anything like aggressive, passive, sniper, loot hunter, placement warrior, W key, or whatever it is. Now, on the other hand, ranked is more for those players who want to improve on their skill, because let's face it, in ranked mode you're going to be matched up with those who are either above your skill level, below your skill level, or right at your skill level. This is a great improvement for most of the players, because this means that they can basically create their use their playstyle while also being able to understandably or even get better at the game. Now we'll talk about another thing, which is communication. Should you have communication, or should you just mute it entirely? Well, while communication is a great way to improve or to have a improvement with randoms or anything like that in team games, really you should probably only use communication if you're with a team that that's going to play the same way you are. They're going to be basically the same mindset as you. They're going to be basically playing like you, and that's where of course the overall communication comes into play. Otherwise, I would highly suggest that you just end up deleting communication, like just mute communication, because it'll lead into this next point, which of course we're going to be going into right now, which is the next point. The next point is solo performance. Remember that in random games, your solo performance is all that matters. I mean, yes, you always should have an idea or an eye to revive whenever you can, help up your team, help your team wherever you can. But for the most part, remember that your solo performance is what determines the W or not in random games, especially when it comes to ranked. And then that leads into the next topic. So let's go ahead and move on to the next point. The next point, of course, is talking about toxicity. Now, this is a separate video entirely, and I'm going to make a separate video talking about how to avoid being the toxic player. But just remember that toxicity is always going to be happening, especially when you got players who are losing over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, even pros, they lose a lot sometimes because sometimes they're just outskilled by another player. Sometimes, on the rare occasion, you get a pro who is aimbotted. Or stream sniped, but at the end of the day, you just gotta realize that at the end of the day, you gotta just not be the toxic player. You've gotta learn not to be toxic. And if you're losing a lot, then the best tip is to take a break. I mean, seriously. Nothing is more toxic than always requeuing, hoping that you're going to find the next winning team, when you should probably just go ahead and go like, you know what, I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to stop playing. I'm not going to requeue immediately. Because, again, nothing can frustrate you more than requeuing over and over and over again and losing over and over and over again. I mean, no one ever likes losing. But at the end of the day, let's just face it. If you keep requeuing, you're just going to keep getting frustrated, and it's probably going to make you the toxic player. And if you got some ranked player who's toxic about losing their points or anything like that, you know what? They're stupid. First and foremost, they're stupid. They're dumb. They're just They're just trying to be toxic because they are, still requeuing every single time. They've been trying to, get a win by requeuing every single time and just spreading their toxicity because, they just are going to keep requeuing without taking a break. Which leads into the next point, and that is VOD reviews, VOD reviews. Now, I know this may seem like a bit of a why would you say anything about VOD reviews, but VOD reviews are just absolutely important to make yourself better. And it also will absolutely help you with being able to maybe make better choices the next time you run into this situation. I mean, you can't just build game sense by basically playing the game. Well, I lied. You can build game sense by just playing the game, but you build better game sense by learning to review your own footage. Look at how you played. How did you play versus this other player? Because again, maybe this other player saw something that you didn't. Maybe you were doing something that this other player just took advantage of. Now, of course, when you're playing quick play and stuff like that, I mean, let's face it, at the end of the day, there are going to be way too many players that are just going to outplay you, outsmart you, or even just, in general, get you into a bad situation. So, that's why I said, when it comes to casual, you just gotta play casual to have fun, maybe self-analyze what you're doing, and also just to maybe make it to where you can understand the play style that you want to play. Otherwise, I mean, ranked is your best friend. Ranked is where you want to be when it comes down to playing any game. Rather it's Fortnite, Apex Legends, Splitgate, Arena Warfare, Call of Duty, whatever it is. You just want to be the best that you can. And that's why VOD reviews are so important. VOD reviews are so important because they allow you to get an understanding of what's going on. And they allow you to understand that, oh, hey, look, I was doing this. I could be doing that, And, if you can't do a self-VOD review because you don't know how, look up how to VOD review and VOD review wherever you can. If you can record your own footage and stuff, if you can record whatever you need to record, I would highly suggest you record it just so that you can kind of go back and look at it and take a break and go, okay, what did we do here that was wrong? How do we improve upon this situation? And, that's exactly what you gotta, look at when you can. And that leads into the last point is just, and that also conjures with muting chat. Now, a lot of players don't mute voice chat because they want to be able to command their team. They want to be able to do that. But, at the end of the day, remember, this is your own solo performance when you're playing with randoms. If you're playing with friends, then obviously voice chat is going to be your best friend. It's going to be where it's going to be at for you to be like the greatest player in the world with all your friends. But if you're not playing with, if you're not playing with your friends and you're just playing with randoms, then it's better to be the silent person and not try to voice chat your way out of it, because it's just not going to work. Anyway, let's move on to the last point, which is of course to realize that you just don't want to have to worry about K to D. Don't worry about K to D. Don't worry about points. Don't worry about demotions. Don't worry about promotions. Don't worry about any of that. I mean, K to D is a stat that's it's there. It's just there. You're going to see a lot of low-tier players who are looking at K to D every single day and go, oh yeah, this guy is getting 6K to D. This is someone I want on my team because they have this 6K to D on their team, or on their stats. But in the end, you want to just win the game. I mean, win the game. That's all that matters, is winning the game. When you can win the game, everyone is happy. Everyone kind of goes, okay, cool. But, at the same time, you've got to remember, make your own decisions. Make your own game sense. Don't just follow the dodo bird. I mean, I'm going to put it out there. This is kind of the thing I'm going to be talking about every time, is don't follow the dodo bird. Now, I'll make a video talking about what the dodo bird is, who the dodo bird is, and how to get an understanding of, this player recognizing the dodo bird, or understanding and going oh, this player is actually playing a dodo bird. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't help the dodo bird. You should always help the dodo bird. But remember, if the dodo bird goes ahead, gets themselves knocked out, and then all of a sudden they're steamed up, mad, whatever. All of a sudden they're mad and whatever. Then obviously just if they have communications and you are listening to communications, because let's just say you didn't mute communications at all, which I highly suggest you shouldn't, because you're always going to run into that one toxic player who's going to bring your mood down, maybe make you play worse, and maybe make you make bad decisions, which could totally happen, which is why I suggest muting audio or muting communication unless you're playing with your friends. But if you do have the dodo bird, and let's say the dodo bird is just blah 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 whatever, I'm mad, my team is stupid or whatever, then consider helping the dodo bird, but make sure that you are in a good position to help the dodo bird. And maybe if they are mad, just don't respond. Just ignore them and try to help them if you can. But if you can't help them, then whatever. Either way, those are my tips. Thank you everybody for joining me today. You probably saw a plug somewhere in the video saying to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my Twitch channel. I hope we can get this video to about 10 likes. It'd be awesome to see this video get to 10 likes. But, to recap quickly before we close out today's video, always just help the dodo bird if you can. But if they're being negative, if they're just bringing down the mood of the team, ignore them. Mute them if you can. I would highly suggest you mute them. That way, you don't have to listen to the dodo bird, and the dodo bird isn't gonna get on your nerves to make you make a bad decision. Remember, your game sense has to be on point. You have to make sure that you are making the best decision to not only help your team, but also help yourself. If you don't have ammo or whatever, you don't have armor or whatever, then you can't help the dodo bird, and the dodo bird is just going to have to sit there going blah, 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 blah. I'm so angry about this player who's not doing anything because they didn't want to play to my playstyle. Whatever. It's their performance. If they're blaming their team, they're just being a toxic player. Forget about them. Of course, play ranked mode, because that's where you're going to get the most skill. That's where you're going to improve the most. Play casual to learn your play style, learn how you want to play, and learn what you like about the game. Maybe also to do self-analyzations. VOD review all the time, because, again, VOD review will not only give you a break, which is good for you, you overall, and what you want to do, but it also just calms you down. It makes you less toxic to the next game, and makes you less toxic to thinking, this game is going to be bad. And that's pretty much it. But with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching today's video. Thank you for being here. Like I said, you probably saw the plugs. Hopefully we can get this video to 10 likes. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you can. And follow my Twitch channel if you can. Turn on notifications. But yeah, with that being said, I'm live on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/FA_EYE or I. I'm live on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. At 8 p.m. Pacific time, usually for about 3 hours. And yeah, with that being said, hopefully I'll see you all live on Twitch. But until the next one, everybody, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping by. And thank you for hanging out. But until the next one, everybody, this is FAI or I signing out and saying farewell, everyone.